Hi, good morning. So we're gonna continue with the study in Nehemiah, Nehemiah 9, basically. In Nehemiah 9, talks about how God protected his people, the Israelites, when they came out of slavery from Egypt. The main verse that we're gonna focus on is Nehemiah 15, where it says, "When they were hungry, you gave them bread from heaven," or manna. When they were thirsty, you brought them water from the rock. You told them to enter and take over the land you had promised to give them. So basically, the main point here that I want to um, talk about is when the Israelites in the desert, when they were thirsty, God provided water from the rock. I don't know if you remember, it talks about it in Exodus 76, where Moses had to strike or touch a rock and water will flow from it. So, in order for them to be submerged or to be connected, attached to the source, the living water, God allowed the living water to come out of a rock. Um, and that rock is Jesus Christ. I don't know if you remember in Matthew 16, 18 talks about Peter, how Peter is to model to be that person that God wants us to see, that will be connected to Christ. So basically, it talks about that. It talks about how Peter in verse 16, it's chapter 16, verse 18, it says, "So I tell you, you Peter, on this rock I will build my church, and the powers of death will not be able to defeat it." So Jesus put not the pressure, but the model, the person of who he is in Peter, so that we could see how we had to model how we to live attached to the source, remain in the source. The source is Jesus Christ, the living water that will, he's the rock from where the water flows. When we strike it, when we read his word, it flows through us. And we are alive, we live, we have life abundantly, like he promised. So it's good for us to be attached to him. Then we're going to talk about how, if you reject the source or Jesus, um, it talks about it in chapter 20, Luke 20th, verse 17 and 18. So we're going to go there. Luke 20th, 17 and 18. Okay, 17 and 18 talks about, it says this, "But Jesus looked at them and said, then what does the scripture passage mean? The stone that the builders rejected became the cornerstone. Everyone who falls on the stone will be broken, and the person whom it falls, that person will be crushed." So when we come to him, realizing that he's our rock, that he's our refuge, he will make us break down. We will break down, and we will receive his grace, and we will receive his love, and we want to be connected to him and attached to him, so that they can flow, his living water through us, like he promised to give us abundant, like I mentioned before. So we wanted to be that living water running every day in our lives, if we remain attached to the main source, which is the rock in Jesus Christ. And following that, we also, we cannot serve God and serve money. He talks about that in Matthew 6:24. And like it says here on Matthew, Luke we just read, um, Luke 20:18, it says, "And the person on whom it falls, that person will be crushed." So if If the law falls on you because you are deciding to obey or to get a hold of money and things of this world, you will not surrender. You will not see the good things of God. You will follow your mind. You will follow your ambition to pursue things of this world. It says in the word that you know, heaven is our home. You know, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if it says, but heaven is our home. So we have to get used to that, knowing that we have a better place. God has a better place for us, so we're not to be consumed by the things of this world. He knows exactly what we need, even before we ask. We need to be attached to the source so that He knows what we need, and that we know that He knows what we need. That's why we need to be attached to the source, because He's already known what we need. So, with that in mind, I just want to leave you those verses for today. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.